Oh, what is up, you guys? Naesam here, and 7.1.5 PTR just came up, and as you can see, there's a lot of shamans on here. They actually, at one point, actually, I think it is, yes, they actually killed this training dummy, or as close to killed as you can. They killed all the training dummies except for that one. That one's so left out. But there's a lot of shaman changes. That's why so many people are here, and I kind of wanted to make a video like going over it and like giving you my first impression on it. I'm not going to go into like super detail, like, oh, this talent's going to be better. Like, I'm not going to like do sims or anything, just because 7.1.5 is pretty far out still. We can expect it sometime in like January, if they are being accurate about it coming with Nighthold, or bringing Nighthold. So, either way, I'm going to go over some changes and stuff, so yeah, I'm going to go over everything that happened. So, first things first is there are some legendary changes. The only ones that, I'm only going to go over the ones that affect shamans. So this neck, it got a big buff. Now you don't have to take damage, and the shield is increased to 30%. The belt went from 18% spell power for the proc to 40% spell power. So that should be much better. No more like huge scaling issues anymore. Zafuza's secret, now it also works on interrupts to help other classes that aren't like Shaman that stun all the time. And it increases your haste by 25% instead of 15%. So this is actually going to be crazy good for us in Mythic Plus now. It already was before. So them buffing it for other classes made it even better for us. I think that's everything that's been changed that affects us, but there are two new legendaries. Oh wait, actually the pants now heal every 2 seconds instead of 3 seconds. But now there's new glove. Equip heroism effects last 30% or 30 seconds longer on you. Unfortunately, it does have mastery on it, but the main stat is crit. And heroism lasting 30 seconds longer than us, like, I don't really see that being a huge thing. It's going to last 1 minute and 10 seconds instead of just 40 seconds. On the shorter fights, it's going to be pretty good. Like on, if we had this for the Gworm, where you need like big damage in a short amount of time, this would be very helpful. Otherwise, if it's like a longer fight, I mean, I don't think it's going to be super amazing, but it's definitely not bad. And there's a trinket. I believe this trinket is for like every caster. Fire a vortex of destruction that seeks your current enemy. When it reaches the target, it explodes, dealing 900,000 fire damage to all nearby enemies within 10 yards. 1 minute 15 second cooldown. It also has 2000 intellect, about 400 crit, haste, and mastery. No, it's for agility and strength. This is trinket for like everybody, I guess. This one definitely seems pretty good, especially with our crit modifier. If it crits on people, it does additional damage, which I think that works in all spells. It might just be shaman spells. I should probably know this. But either way, that's a lot of intellect, and it's probably going to be a really good trinket for us as well. So now for the part that everyone probably wanted to see, the class changes. So first thing I'm going to go over is the talent changes. Most of the talents weren't really changed all that much, but they were moved around a lot. So Aftershock got moved from... where was it before? Actually, I don't know where it was before. Now it's row 4, column 1. Instead of, I think that was where Elemental Blast was. Yeah, a whole bunch of things got moved. I gotta kind of like go look at the old talent calculator. Okay, I got it now. So, Aftershock replaced Elemental Blast, which was here on the 60 row. So now the 60 row consists of Aftershock, Ancestral Swiftness, and Elemental Mastery. Elemental Blast replaced Ice Fury, which was in the 90 row. So now this row is Liquid Magma Totem, Storm Elemental, Echo the Elements. Ice Fury replaced Liquid Magma Totem in the 100 row, so now it's Ascendance, Lightning Rod, Ice Fury. And Liquid Magma Totem replaced Elemental Mastery in this row. And then, it doesn't actually say why this is here. Oh, this replaced Echo of the Elements in this row. So, things got moved around a lot. It's going to be interesting to figure out exactly what to do. But it actually should be kind of fun, so I'm excited for it. And then there's also a lot of buffs to these spells as well, if I can find them. So there are a lot of spell changes. So Aftershock, your spells refund 30% of all additional maelstrom spent on them, or of all maelstrom spent on them. It used to be 25, so that's a buff. Ancestral Swiftness now only gives 6% haste instead of 10. I mean, that's a nerf, but I like it because I didn't like Ancestral Swiftness being the main talent anyway. Earthen Rage now does 55% of spell power instead of 50, so that's a small buff. Earth Grab Totem now roots for within 10 yards for 8 seconds instead of 5. I mean, it's not really that significant, but it's a buff for mostly PvP. Echo of the Elements now gives you 3 charges. Well, it doesn't actually say it does, but it does. That might be an accident. Hope not. Elemental Blast now does 680% spell power instead of 525. Elemental Blast kind of hits kind of hard now. 685k crit. And this just got changed. Elemental Fusion now increases the chance by 10% instead of 5%. Gust of Wind got a slight nerf to 20-second cooldown instead of 15. Ice Fury, instead of dealing 180% spell power and damage, it now deals 900%. So let's go ahead and hit something with Ice Fury. 350k non-crit, just the Ice Fury. Then we get to do the Frost Shocks. Liquid Magma Totem, instead of 80% spell power, it does 110%. Kind of weaving through all the enhanced changes. Path to Flame, Lava Burst now deals 10% more damage, as well as the other effect that was already there. Hopefully it's actually functional now. So Path to Flame could actually be a viable option here for this recharge Echo the Elements, because I'm always using Lava Burst here. And that looks like it for the LE changes. There's a bunch of other changes on here for enhance and stuff. Cut that. That was not all the changes. That was just the talent changes. Earth Elemental now lasts 60 seconds on a 5-minute cooldown, so they actually just kind of reverted it to how it was before. Earth Shock, instead of 800% spell power and damage, now does 920% spell power and damage. Frost Shock, instead of 56% spell power, now does 64%, so Ice Fury is going to be kind of crazy. I think that actually may be the main talent on this row, especially if you're using like Echo, because then Lightning Rod gets devalued quite a bit. Elemental and Restoration Lava Burst has been increased from 220% spell power and damage to 275%. I think that is it. Now I'm actually sure that's it. That is all the changes. That is a lot of good changes. So while I was editing this video, I realized that the Earth Shock and Frost Shock changes, I'm fairly certain are the same ones from 7.1, and I think it's just that the data mining didn't catch up yet. So unfortunately, we did not get buffed there, but everything else looks pretty good. So I thought that you guys may want to see just like a little DPSing with this new build. I already did some. It was very fun. I got like 400k DPS over like 5 minutes. But I may as well do some like on recording. So it's actually, I feel like this is a lot more fun. I have to take my hand off of this now. Maybe some buzzing. Because there's a lot more weaving in spells just to like keep everything off cooldown. It's a lot, I feel like there's a lot more like intensity to it. Like I hadn't even been able to use Stormkeeper yet. Because I'm trying to keep my Lava Burst on cooldown, I'm trying to keep my Ice Fury on cooldown, I'm trying to keep my Elemental Blast on cooldown. There's a lot of things to do. A lot of things to look at. And then now there's like a little bit of downtime. Then I'm full on Maelstrom, so I get to Earth Shock. Elemental Blast again. I think it's always something interesting to do instead of just spamming Lightning Bolt for a long time. And the damage is actually pretty good. I did not even use Fire Ellie. I just casted Lava Burst without a Flame Shock on the target. I don't have any Flask, no food, no hero. And I'm doing a decent amount of damage right now. So yeah, it's definitely more eventful. But the haste does feel definitely lower because I'm no longer using Ancestral Swiftness. Ancestral Swiftness may still be the go-to for like Mythic Dungeons because of the haste for Earthquake. But Aftershock might actually take over now. I'll have to experiment with that once it's live. Or close to live, at least. Because right now I don't really want to spend a whole bunch of time doing something that is most likely going to be changed at some point. At least I like to think that, because otherwise I'll be really disappointed when it is. Yeah, there's like no burst to this, but it's like a really, really good sustained damage. Like I'm still doing 420k. The only burst is Fire Ellie, and it's no longer primal, so that burst is, it's not like a huge thing. So Elemental Blast, and then I'll cast Ice Fury and see if I can get some crazy proc with it. Does not look like I did. Oh, my scrolling battle text is very delayed right now. I did actually get a proc with it. Or a crit with it. Those PTR things, it seems to happen a lot. But yeah, that's basically like, that's kind of what our new rotation might look like if these changes stay. And the DPS is actually like really good. I'm kind of expecting a nerf, but I haven't actually looked at the other classes. Maybe everything just kind of got buffed. Because that has happened in the past where they just kind of do buffs to like everything. The Ice Fury is almost hitting for 1 million now. It's basically an Earth Shock. Yeah, that's basically the changes right there. Good stuff. I like it. It was a lot more than I expected, because usually LE Shamans get kind of like, you know, not that many changes compared to other classes, but we actually got a ton of changes. I've not really looked at other classes' changes yet, so maybe this is like something like a not a very high amount compared to them, but I kind of doubt it because there was a lot of stuff going on. So it has been a couple hours since I did that last recording, and I decided that before I end this video I wanted to do a quick little burst test, going what I think is going to be the best like burst talents. Like this probably wouldn't sustain that well, but for burst using Ascendance, it's definitely going to be the best one, I would say. So might as well just give it a shot, right? See what it does. So I would assume you're kind of like supposed to empty all your lava burst charges first, into the Ascendance, kind of what we already do right now. Let's just see how much burst we can get. Lava burst sitting for 520k. So yeah, I'm bursting pretty hard. Also lagging pretty hard. Yeah, that was crazy. On live, I burst like with that same RNG, I'd probably burst like 100k less than that. And then you also sustain it well with Echo the Elements. So yeah, that was definitely some good burst. So you can kind of like talent into whatever you really feel like doing. Like you can go Ice Fury for super well sustained, or Ascendance for super good burst. I honestly I want to clarify that I don't actually have any idea which one's going to be better in the long run. As I said earlier, I don't have any plans to really do a whole lot of testing with the new talents or anything, or like the new talent setups, until it's a little closer to live, so I don't feel like I'm just wasting my time, since there are almost certainly going to be changes to what's happening right now. But I think that's about it for this video. I will probably be going more in depth in the future, but for now I just kind of wanted to go over the changes and show a little example of what could be. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you'd like to give it a like, all the other stuff that I'm supposed to say in the outro. See you guys next time.